Smiling.
Die. We were playing Pass the Thimble and I won.
Well, no, you didn't pass it back. That's not playing past the thimble. That's just take the thimble.
Yuffie lift a finger.
Take the thimble. Take the goodness of the thimble.
Welcome to the show. My name is Iain Lee.
Yes, it is. I can confirm. My name is not. It's Katherine Boyle.
She has seen all of the documents that offer the proof.
Yeah.
That is my pudding. This show is brought to you by the kind generosity of the Patreons, the people who pay. And we have some new payers.
Name them.
We have got Christopher Andrea, who we just timed out.
What a welcome.
Just timed you out.
Oh, Christopher.
Sorry, Christopher. We got Matt Reese is back in the fold. We had Craig Fitzpatrick last week, so we've only got the two. But what a two! What a two!
One silent at the moment, but one not.
Oh, yeah, I'm a
yet.
bit worried about. I'm a bit worried about. No refunds. $3.99 plus VAT a month gets you access to a show every week, over 2,000 hours worth of video and audio. And if you were bold and wanted to go to the £13 level, next Sunday, I think,
yes,
we're going to do the Zoom meeting. Not this Sunday, not the 19th, it's the 26th.
I mean, just found out about that.
Yeah,
that's
literally,
acceptable.
Literally just heard about it.
Yeah.
A lot to talk about.
So many things.
Oh, David Turner says, no spoilers, but holy shit, this week's episode of Beast Games is incredible. A lot to talk about. You'd have been very... The reason we're starting a little bit late is I was in... by the way, you can call us if you want. I don't care.
No, welcome to...
0203 286 6370. The reason I'm late is I was recording a podcast in London.
Yeah.
I've been on it before. It's a spiritual podcast. I think you listened to it a couple of years ago.
Yes, I did.
It's funded by one of the churches.
Which one?
Charlotte. No, but it's fun. It's great. It's these two lovely people, Jazz and Trey, and it's about spirituality. And as you know, I am a very fucking spiritual man.
I think Jazz is like a consultant for teachers, isn't she?
I don't think she is now. She was talking about being a teacher. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think she consults on it now. I've seen her vids.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
Because we follow each other now.
Is it?
Yeah.
I wonder if she knows that it's you.
I think she does, yeah.
I don't think she does.
Well, she might.
Anyway, it was called Hope and Anchor, and
Yeah.
they've changed the title now to Spill the Spirituality. I don't think it's a great title. I think they're great people. They're really, really nice people. They, the guest on before me had won 7 Emmys.
Wow.
And they got me on, and I'll tell you why, because last time I was on nearly 2 years ago, Jazz was talking, and I said, oh my God, you're so ADHD. She went, what? She said, with that thing you said, because everyone does that. Well, I was saying some stuff. She went, well, everyone does that. I said, no. And I asked her a question, and she went, what?
So they went blink, blink, and now look, we look like we're in the olden days.
No, we don't. We're all right, aren't we?
Oh, it's going.
Are we all right?
Yeah, okay, carry on.
Anyway, she was clearly ADHD. However, I perhaps didn't handle it in the sensitive way I would do now. And actually...
Did you go, ha! You're the ADHD?
I probably did. And are we streaming? Please tell us.
It's all gone very quiet, but then again, they're frightened of you now. You keep calling them.
Tell us if we are streaming now.
Fine. Says a tentative Jimbo and then ducks back behind the sofa.
She's found the last 18 months quite hard.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because in part because of the ADHD and what it may or may not mean for her, to her family, and all of these questions. So they kind of got me on so she could say I found it really, really hard. And we talked about it. It's really good. I don't know when it's going out. It's very interesting. There were a few times I went off on tangents that really weren't relevant, but I thought were relevant. And I get to the end and I go, here's where you would have been proud of me. She was talking about her soul. He was talking about his soul.
No.
I didn't talk about our souls.
Good.
I didn't.
Good, not the time.
And I'm sat there thinking, Katherine will be very, very proud of me.
I'm glad I sit on your shoulder like that, keeping the dodgy jokes, as opposed to sitting next to you and enticing them out.
I got this shirt. It's filthy. It's been hanging on the back of my bedroom door for ages so I could wear it, and it's filthy. So I didn't do Arseholes, which is good. Yeah. But it's a good podcast. I don't know when it goes out.
Google it.
They'll let me know.
Yeah.
I also, episode 1 of season 2 of Random Access Memories is out. There was a guy who was very supportive of the last series, Matt, and he emailed me on Wednesday, I think, saying, Iain, my Christmas New Year's wish is that you please bring back Random Access Memories. I went, mate, it's done.
Well, Matt, Merry Christmas.
So first episode is out with amigo Aaron. I have recorded 1, 2, 3. I've recorded 4 more. They're all set to go on a Monday. I'm recording one with Matt from the Computer Game Show. Here's one for you guys. I recorded one with Curtis, LGR, who's got 1.75 million subs on YouTube.
Wowee.
Katherine, can I ask you a question?
Always.
Would you be a guest on my Random Access Memories podcast?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not asking you to. I'm just wondering if you would ever consider it. But yeah. No, I would love to have you on.
Why? Because I can talk about Outrun and Garfield.
Well, you can only talk about one. You can talk about whatever you want. I just think it would be... Can I
talk about show jumping?
Yeah, of course you can. You talk about whatever you want. I think it'd be... I meant to get you on last time, and then it just sort of petered out.
All right.
Yeah, Harsh. Harsh says, wow, LGR. Yes, LGR. I recorded it last night. Recorded it last night.
Harsh is one of the million. How many million? 1 million.
LGR is great, 1.75 million. And he lives in North Carolina, and his house was destroyed by Hurricane Helene. I think it's pronounced. Dave from Twir is going to be up on Monday. Holly from The Cave is going to be up the week after. Sean Bell from the Computer Game Show is going to be up from the week after.
I think I might ruin it. You might get someone proper on.
Well, I've got Dave, I've got Holly, I've got Sean Bell, and I've got Matt Murray.
Yeah.
So no, well, I'm not getting proper people on. Getting knobbers.
All right, let's do it.
Random Access Memories is free to download. Go and enjoy yourselves. And the thing, all right, because I want to be creative. I want to make stuff. Yeah. And this is easy to make. And what I've done is absolutely zero production. No, record the audio off Zoom. I don't even top and tail it. I just record it on Zoom.
I know. It's tricksy. Do you know why?
Why?
Because sometimes I'm not sure it's finished, and then you're talking to someone else. And I'm like, you got me. And now I'm in.
What, to another episode?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Same with your Iain Lee is... Neurospicy, same thing.
Sometimes I hate my hair and sometimes I like it.
Okay.
I
dislike mine at the moment. It's growing out. But it's getting very, dare I say... and maybe it's too soon, but today's look is more than a little bit Spencer, isn't it? I'm not talking about... You're
talking about the Queen of Hearts?
Yeah, I'm talking about,
Too soon.
Early. Of course, there were 3 of us in our marriage. That one.
Please, I'm not going to sit here and let you do it.
What?
Mock.
I'm not mocking, I'm giving an homage.
I walked past her once in Kensington High Street. Have I told you that?
She told me. Oh. She said, I saw Iain Lee in Kensington.
Sorry, can you stop doing Christine McVie?
No, she's more like that. There's a slight brumminess to Christine McVie. And Diana Spencer's more like that. No, they're merging.
Can we...
channeling both. Rips.
Oh, you say rips. I wanted to acknowledge the people that we've lost this week.
Oh, God. Yeah, awful. What an awful week.
First of all, and I've had a message from Mark, Tony's partner, which I've not read yet because I don't want it to go blue. I want to read it at my leisure.
Yeah.
But Tony Slattery, that came from nowhere.
Yeah.
He was on the up.
And Tony's been in the ether ever since we started talking to him. He sort of comes and been coming and going in your life, hasn't he?
I spent a wonderful... No, me and Jonathan Sloman went to see him. You know, Jonathan Sloman is at every... he was at this...
There's a definite crossover between our lives and Jonathan Sloman.
Everywhere we go, someone will tap me on the shoulder and I go, oh, it's Jonathan Sloman. Or we'll go, I think Yes, it is, Jonathan. Anyway, we ended up going to see Tony do some improv in Reading. And no, was it? Anyway, I can't remember who it was. Anyway, we got invited to his Premier Inn hotel with him and his team for post-show drinks.
And you said it was victorious.
Yeah, and he was funny and he was great, and he was a little bit slower, but he was funny. He had it, and he was on the up. And I'm gonna sneeze. Absolutely gutted. And then, I mean, obviously David Lynch and Linda Nolan. I have no real connection to David Lynch. I know a lot of people are upset, and I get it.
He's the sort of person who I am glad existed, but he's not one of my people.
I liked some of his films. I just don't have that powerful connection that a lot of people do.
Yeah.
But I did have a connection with Paul Danan, and first of all, I didn't know he was so young, 46. Can I tell you the stage I'm at with that?
Yeah.
I'm fucking angry. I'm really angry. We don't know how he died, okay? He was in hospital a month or so ago. Apparently, chest problems due to vaping. We don't know how he died.
There's loads of speculation.
But what we do know...
I read today he was in a dry house.
Okay. Well, what we do know is he was going to court for possession.
Yeah.
So drugs had somehow entered his life. Whether he was taking them or not, I don't know. I'm not going to make up a story. But drugs had entered his universe again, right? Back in the day, back in London, there was a meeting on Frith Street. A lot of telly people would go there. It was in Soho. And I met Paul there, God, maybe 20 years ago, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, it's not my story to tell, but he'd always been very, very helpful to me. When I had my big relapse after the jungle, he was very, very helpful, very supportive. He was this big puppy. Christopher Andreo, you're back. You have not been thrown out. It was a comedic timeout, and I hope it is taken.
And a little welcome to you.
I hope it's taken in the way it's intended. You are very much him. I'm fucking furious.
He was adorable, like a proper open.
He came and did the show a few times, at least once.
Kind person, perhaps too open. Do you know what I mean? He made himself very vulnerable. And as we know, reality TV feeds off that and then spits them out. And I did feel terrible for him. And when he came in, he was just lovely. He was lovely to me.
Yeah.
He obviously had a history, you know, not best mates, but a history with you. And he was just one of those souls where you go, you know, you wanted to you wanted to scoop him up.
I haven't spoken to him for a while. And what I'm angry about is he knew the solution. I'm assuming that makes it assumption he died of drugs. It's more the fact that drugs were clearly in his life if he was going to court for possession. He knew the solution. He'd had the solution. He told me the solution when I fell off.
Yeah.
He had it, man. He had it. I haven't cried about it yet, and I will do, but I've gone pretty much from shock to anger because he had the solution.
Yeah. Disease.
My favourite Paul Danan story, and you'll know it, and it was reported as him having a breakdown.
Oh, God. It was reported in that kind of faux concern that the papers do so well.
I'm going to
swear. When they've been feeding on someone for years and years and taking the piss out of them.
So he was doing a pantomime, wherever it was. And as part of the panto promotion, he and someone else from the pantomime got to turn on the town's Christmas lights, right? And Paul was, like I say, this big, excitable puppy. And so he's up on this podium. There's 2,000 people there, and he's excited. And instead of going, okay, from everyone in Jack and the Beanstalk, we wish you a Merry Christmas. Let's turn the lights on. He said something along the lines of, come on, you motherfuckers!
Family show, remember? It was a family show. There was outrage.
Kicked out of the before he'd even got off the podium, out of the pantomime. National outrage. He had to apologise. He lost the entire gig. That is the coolest thing. That wasn't him having a breakdown. That was him kind of getting a bit excited. That is the coolest story.
Yeah. They're going, oh, there was a tragic time. I was thinking, that's not the way he told us that story.
No.
like he had some sort of outburst. No, he got really excited and he loved being loved. So he was surrounded by people and he thought he'd dance for them.
Yeah. So that's where we're at. I'm hoping we're not going to turn into a 2016.
God.
Wouldn't it?
Can someone please put a ring of steel around Cher, Barbara Streisand and Celine Dion? Thank you.
I went on a speed awareness course.
Yeah.
I made notes.
Okay.
May I go through the notes?
Please.
You can do it on Zoom now. What's the point of that?
Do you have to keep your camera on? Or can
Yeah.
You just,
And I'm going to make up names. Martin, none of these names are real. Martin's camera, it wouldn't go on at the start. And the facilitator was, Martin, you're going to have to turn your camera on. Otherwise, I'm going to have to ask you to leave and you won't have completed the... He's going, but it's on at my end. It's on. Anyway, he switched. Can I just check the chat? Are we boring you? No.
They're being really careful because you were quite trigger happy.
I'm not going to
beginning.
time anybody out.
He says every time don't trust him.
So you had to show them ID and you had to keep your camera on. Mm-hmm. I made notes. Where did I make these notes? Yeah, it's a cop-out on Zoom, isn't it? All right. So, speed awareness. So she kept saying, make notes. So you would. Right. So, number one, know the limit.
Did you have to show her the notes afterwards? Or could you?
She asked, at one point she said, would someone, she was asking people to show the notes. I'm thinking, don't ask this.
Can you imagine if you'd done a crying cactus or something? Because that's
Didn't
the
do
usual
that.
form.
So, starts off sensible. Speed awareness. 1, know the limits. 30, 60, 60, 70. We're in the future. Now, she said this. She said, driving is different now from how it was 20 or 30 years ago. We're in the future.
Well,
what? Hang on, Dennis Law died today and Joan Plowright. What?
I knew about Joan.
Kids. Oh, so then she
We're
showed.
in the future. Absolutely impossible. Ridiculous statement. Next.
So we are. Then they showed, you know, the picture of the kids holding hands, the school sign.
Yeah.
Looks like a swastika. Their hands look like a swastika. Can I show you? Are we allowed to say that?
You're allowed to say it, just don't flash a swastika up.
School kids warning.
Although that reminds me, I had prevent training this week. Bloody hell. Oh, I see what you mean. It looks like one leg of one.
Anyway, so I wrote that.
You wrote, it looks like a swastika.
Kids. Oh, no. That was another school sign swastika. No. And then she would show like really low quality computer generated like videos, right? Showing like towns and driving and stuff. And in the garden of one of these things were kids doing the Running Man.
Oh, did it remind you of Biggin?
Yeah.
Lack of ability to do the Running Man.
Street lights. 30.
Yeah, street light. If it's got street lights, it's
Yeah,
usually
yeah.
30.
So I did write some stuff down. Central Reservation, dual carriageway 60. Number 2, know why it matters. 30, physics. Oh, physics. The universe and Isaac Newton. So it was about, it was about how the stopping distances increased.
By the way, if you take notes, this allows you to get off
Yeah.
your next speeding ticket.
It's, so it was about the how long the extra to stopping distance is between doing 30 miles an hour and 31 miles an hour.
Is it death?
I wasn't paying attention to. I did one in Burnham as well. Harsh says I attended one once in Burnham.
What?
I hadn't committed the offence. I was taping the rap for a friend who had a lot of points.
I think
One of my other work colleagues walked in.
I think that's illegal.
That's illegal. So
I'm glad that's just a pretend thing that you just told us, but a pretend thing.
So she said, so the stopping distance is like an extra 30 feet. That's just physics. And then when she said that's just physics, it went to a picture of the solar system, right, with all of the planets, and then Isaac Newton floated past in space.
Isaac Newton floated in space.
Yeah, because that's just physics. Solar system, Isaac Newton.
He would have burned up as he left the atmosphere, surely.
Next one. What's the difference? And I thought I'd ask you
Also,
this.
gravity was holding him down famously.
Well, it wasn't.
What's he doing flying? It's none of his business.
What's that? Louis Armstrong.
No,
I can't breathe.
Louis Armstrong landed on the moon.
You know that. Can I play Louis Armstrong landing on the moon?
I'm on the moon.
Oh, I can't breathe. Let's see, is that on YouTube? That's one of my favourite things. Louis Armstrong
On the moon. There it is.
On the moon.
It's as if you've looked for this before.
Okay. Here we go. Louis. Okay, so let's.
God bless TikTok. It's a shame the Americans are losing it because they provide us
Here
with
we
a lot of
go.
great stuff.
Oh, I make sure you can hear.
Can you hear it?
That. Here we go.
How was Louis Armstrong able to become the first man on the moon?
I am living in space. I'm on the moon. I see the world we call Big Blue, and I
This isn't
think
the one.
to myself,
Well, hang on.
how the fuck did I get here?
That's not the one.
Oh, hang on, wait.
I am in space, on the moon. Help! I am losing oxygen. I'm gonna suffocate.
Dear. So that's where your mind went to.
Next one. What's the
It's
difference?
just physics. It's just physics.
What's the difference between affect and effect?
Right. So to affect is something you do to something else. You affect the course of time, or you affect someone's
Well,
perception.
don't say you affect the course of time because no one can.
All right.
So
no, but what she
affect,
can. It's just physics.
I affect your affections. I affect your
No,
affections.
and then the effect of that. So the knock-on effect, the thing that happens. So one is a doing word and one is a noun.
Okay, it's not as interesting as I thought. I am pretending to take notes. I am once again pretending to write, but and then I thought I am writing. 3, emotions and speeding. Right. Got make up names.
Adam?
Adam keeps sniffing really loudly. Now Karen has started. Fuck's sake. You can speed talking to friends about the good old days. So she was going, right, what reasons might you speed? And people are going, because you're angry.
Was she a lot younger than the rest of you?
Probably late 30s.
Right, so she thought you were all old farts. Do you know how I know this? Because you're talking about the good old days, and she's talking about how it's not the same as it was 20 years ago.
No, I think she was maybe in her 40s. Karen was old. At the end, any questions? And Karen was like, well, she's like, oh, she goes, I just dropped my granddaughter to nursery and I came back a little fast. And we're all out there going, yes. So she says, well, one of the reasons you can go fast is you can speed whilst talking to friends about the good old days. Not writing, just pretending. 4, select a slave speed. Everyone is giving the same answer except me. So she did that thing where she'd ask a question, Tony, and Tony would give the answer. And go, Clara, and Clara would go, yeah, the same as Tony. And then she came to me and I gave a different answer.
Good. You would be my teacher's pet.
Then someone said something. I wrote, what the fuck is that answer? Oh, blood didn't stop at a roundabout. So then we're watching this fucking video, right?
By the way, I don't accept same answer as someone else. I'll say, tell me more.
So we're watching this
Not in my
computer generate. Okay, so it's a computer. At the end, I'm going to give you 4 options of potential dangers. I want you to pick one. So watch carefully. First things first. The computer car didn't stop at the roundabout. Just went straight over.
Dangerous.
And then it goes on, and she comes back with 4 options. Which of these? Right. Put your hand up if it's A, B, C. Iain, you didn't put your hand up. You're not sure. I said, no, it could be all 4 of them. She said, I'm looking for one in particular. I said, but I'm thinking, no, it could have been all 4 of them.
Oh, well.
I dispute the answer.
I'm going to write it in my book instead of arguing about it.
Martin was upset he didn't get praise for the right answer. So she said, well done, Terry and Karen and Chris. Moving on. And Martin went, I got the answer right as well. Oh, and Martin, I'm going to give you a round of applause.
You get a special singular
Host gives him
thumb up.
applause. Then let's say another Martin, because I don't want to say this guy's name. He got praised for something I got right.
You noted it down, though.
Then there's a computer-generated thing,
He's
right?
got the documents.
Then there's a computer-generated thing. It was another 4. Pick one of the. I'm bored at this. Okay. They said there was also. It's computer-generated and it's shit. And she goes, "There's another problem with this video. What is it?"
It's shit.
And one of the girls went, "The car was speeding." She went, "Yeah, the car was speeding." How the fuck are we supposed? It's a cartoon. How are we supposed to know?
Because she's speed aware and you're not.
That's true. Pay more attention. Oh, how are we supposed to know the car was speeding? Just felt.
It's this bit here at the top.
What?
The writing gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
No, I got it right, not Martin.
Yeah, I write that. Well, yeah. How are we supposed to know the car was speeding? Just felt like, for fuck's sake. Pay more attention. So use technology wise. Oh, then someone said the word comfortabilities. It's not a word, is it?
No.
Okay. And that was it. So yeah, it was good. I'm now aware of speed.
Well, you're also aware of some pretty crazy teaching methods.
Yeah. Oh, I made some notes for the show.
By the way, did you offer to come up with a better lesson for her? Maybe some better videos. You could come up with some really great ones. You could put like Cliff Richard in a car, because he was famously in that car, wasn't he? What car? What tree? What? Yeah. I would make it fun.
And do you know at the end, she says, "Have you got any questions?" You know what I said? I got in before the old lady. "Thank you, Susan, for your time. It's much appreciated." And then the old lady went, "Yeah, I was going to say that as well." I'm thinking, well, I said it first. I said it first, B.
Jenna said, "My dad went to a speed awareness course and did a wheel spin on some gravel in front of the policeman as he left. That's because he's a player."
Oh, fucks!
Whoa!
I've got to get this in, and hopefully we'll have time to do what do Tom Cruise and Frank Spencer have in common. So, knock at my door the other day. Doorbell goes. I've got a porch, right? And sometimes if I'm expecting a parcel,
Don't boast.
a vestibule. Sometimes if I'm expecting a parcel, I'll leave the porch door unlocked so they can put a parcel in the porch, right? Ding dong, and then there's a knock on my inner door. So someone had come into the porch.
On your what?
My inner door. Because we've only got 3 minutes.
Don't say in a door.
And it was like...
It's like a secret smile.
Did that. But literally, doorbell rang, then...
Yes.
And I opened it, and it was a big fella, broad. There's a point I'm saying... And then he tried to come into my house, right? And he's leaning over the door.
What, not even a hello, just straight in?
I said, "Hello, I'm here for your washing machine. Have a look at your washing machine." I said, "No, you're not." And he said, "Right, I live at number 2. There are 3 number 2s in my street. Don't, right? And there's one down there and there's one up there. And sometimes they get, so he's leaning into my house and I'm standing there. I'm not, come to have a look at your washing machine." I said, "No, you're not." "Yeah, I am. Come to look at your washing machine. Number 2. I said, "Yep, but there's another number 2. "What? Hang on a minute. You're famous, aren't you?" I went, "No. There's another number 2. It's that." "Yes, you are. What have you been on?" I said, it was a long time ago." "Go on. What is it?" Then he said, "Go on. Who are you? Who are you?" And he's fucking he's in my porch leaning into my house. And I said, "I'm the bloke that kicks washing machine repairmen out of my house. It's 2 doors down there." I said it a bit smilier than that, but that was my exact sentence. "I'm the bloke that kicks washing machine repair." He said, "Well, yeah, I'd kick me out as well." And I had to walk forwards for him to walk out. And he said it again. He said, "What have you been on?" I said, Not today, mate. It's just down there."
Right.
He was in my house.
We all know, don't we, that you knock on the door, then you take 2 steps back.
Yes.
You do not. Your face is not there when they open the door like this. Unless you're a kid. They don't do that anymore. No. We used to.
I felt angry and I felt intimidated.
Yeah.
I was angry. Normally people ask who I am. I spend a bit of time. No, when you're trying to get into my house, it was horrible, actually. I felt... Oh, well...
I'll tell you just how horrible if you pay.
You got to pay. If you pay up, then you will find out what happened next and how we ended up actually making love.